also look at some of the things that he said. He's like, well, we've created 100,000 new jobs since I've been in office. Virginia created 100,000 jobs last year.
Wow. Exactly.
That's how far behind we are.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're looking at a government that actually came in and inherited a $5 billion surplus. And the thing that he likes to talk about on Fox News and mainstream media, or when he pretends to be receptive to opposition media or whatever, he says, I inherited a structural deficit. Well, that's a lie.
That is an absolute lie. That's an absolute
bold-faced lie. Mm-hmm. He actually sent a letter to Larry Hogan right when he was inaugurated into office and thanking him for giving him that $5 billion surplus. And he completely obliterated. And a lot of the Democrats and progressives, they say this is from the Trump administration. We're losing revenue. Before Donald Trump was ever inaugurated into office, we had a projected $2.8 billion deficit before January 20th. So we actually have lost our AAA coveted bond rating. Quantum, which is IonQ, which is a quantum computing company that originated here in Maryland. They decided to actually create a world-class quantum hub in Tennessee. Why? Because Tennessee doesn't even have an individual income tax. Where in Maryland, we have some of the highest income tax in the whole country. We're actually ranked 46 in terms of tax competitiveness in the whole nation. And it's probably going to be worse after this Burford bill. I mean, he's been abysmal. That's just objective. I know that's not a partisan talking point. And as you see, this Democrat economist is actually echoing that sentiment too also. So I think Governor Moore needs to take his eyes off the presidential office and actually come back to Maryland and focusing on fixing some of the issues that he created.
It was today, or this month, I should say, an op-ed by economist Anirban Basu published in the Baltimore Sun and widely covered by various news outlets labeled Maryland Governor Wes Moore as America's most disappointing governor. Now, you guys know we've spoken about Wes Moore before. He has national attention. He is a governor here, but there's a lot of news and buzz about him possibly running for president in 2028. All right. And he has been all over national media. Well, this is an actual economist who is a Democrat. So this is major news here saying that he's failed. He's failed on state finances, crime and public safety, accountability and transparency, and unfulfilled campaign promises. All right, let's talk about this. I want to get your thoughts on this, Nicole. What do you think about his assessment?
Well, he's right. I mean, he came in with this, they call him Timu Obama, you know. I was calling him Walmart Obama, but apparently that wasn't low enough. But he came in on this wave of hope and promise and Maryland's first Black governor and, you know, all of the hopes and dreams and starry eyes. But what we ended up with was 338 and counting consecutive tax hikes and fee increases. Now, this may sound like I'm nitpicking, but Maryland's previous worst governor, Martin O'Malley, the guy who wanted to tax the rain, had not even half as many taxes and fees as this smiling man has given us. He's one of those people that looks you in the face and he gives you the charming smile while he's stabbing you in the back. This is who this guy is. And it's gotten to a point now where he's not even stabbing us in the back. He's just stabbing us, right? Right to your face and telling you what it is. I recently had to renew the registration on my truck. You know, your tags expire in 2 years in Maryland. Now you can buy them up to 3 years. And it went from like $40 to $250 to drive on the same raggedy road that I was driving on the day before I had to live through all of this drama and getting my tags done. They said, well, no, there's a payment plan. But the payment plan is if you get a tag for 1 year, which is dumb, right? Because you'll be dealing with the MVA shortly. But you have to put like 80% down and then you pay the 20% later on. They increased it to 3 years. If you have $360 laying around, you can go ahead and purchase it for 3 years. But with that, your internet taxes, the increase in the gas tax, sales tax, if you trade in your car tax, there's the sleep tax. If you buy a new mattress, there's a tax on that. We are taxed. And I hate to say this is going to break my heart to say, I would have rather paid the rain tax to Martin O'Malley.
Yeah.
And y'all need to know that was back in my activist days. I'm gonna tell you, I wrote him all kind of letters saying, just turn my shit off, bro. I live by the river. I don't need any additional water. I would have rather given Martin O'Malley money on the rain than pay for everything. Yeah. Tax after tax after tax. And then he's in the press now saying, well, we're going to ask Marylanders who are doing well to do a little bit more. From what?
Well, that's what he talked about in this thing, Basu. He blamed Moore's first two budgets for a $3 billion budget shortfall, which led to $1.6 billion in new taxes. He also, this is the Economist, he contrasted this with the governors in North Carolina, a Democrat, and Missouri, a Republican, who he claimed were saving taxpayers money and attracting investment.
I think that's a very fair and accurate assessment. As governor of Maryland, I like to call him Tax Moore, has been an absolute disappointment. He did sign the largest tax bill ever in Maryland history. You're looking at a 2% capital gains tax to over all assets over $350,000. You're looking at these two new income brackets where if you're 500,000 to $1 million, you're at 6.25%, or you're $1 million over, you're at 6.5%, which is actually bringing back the millionaire's tax. Yeah. These are the people that create jobs. These are the people that employ people, right?
Yes, absolutely. And you talk about businesses. I mean, we're seeing the same thing happen in these Democrat-led, I'll be partisan, the Democrat-led states all over the country. Breaking news out today, Bed Bath & Beyond announced that the company will not open or operate retail stores in California, citing the state's over-regulated, expensive, and risky business environment.
Yes.
So the decision, described as a matter of common sense, as you seem to say, rather than politics, was attributed to high taxes, fees, unsustainable wages, and stringent regulations that the chairman claimed make it difficult to employ people, maintain operations, and deliver value to customers.
Absolutely.
This is really bad, especially if you have a state like this, because we need business like this. It extends from this. Yeah. Jobs, the outlook of young people, being able to buy homes. Right now, they said this is the worst time for people under 40 to buy homes.
Correct.
Of course.
Yeah. Communists do not like business.
Right.
That's true.
Like Yana hit the nail on the head.
They're literally against business. And so that's what happens, is that they want themselves, the government, to have, just like Mom Donnie said in New York, to have government-run grocery stores. They're going to have government-run mattress stores and what is that? Sheets and stuff, whatever they're selling.
Bed Bath & Beyond. They sell a little bit of everything at Bed Bath & Beyond.
But it's going to be government-run. And I know how it looks like because I was born in the Soviet Union, and we had these really sad shops where it's the same kind of product, year after year. There's no innovation.
But is it cheaper? Were they cheaper goods and services?
The thing with the issue with communist states is that it's not about the price. It's about because they will control the price. It's about the amount of how much of it is available. So you're going to have shortages. Every time there's a government-run anything, there's a shortage of that product. So they will control the prices. So let's say you want to buy a mattress, and this is a true story. In the Soviet Union, you know what they had to do? For mattresses, for couches, they had to put their name on the list. On the, you're in line for your couch. Wow. And then you have to go every week. There's one day that you have to go and renew to say that you still want it. You still want to keep your name on the list. And there would be a line of people standing there from like 4 a.m. Woo! Yes, to go to the lady with the notebook and say, yes, I still want this couch. Please do not cross out my name.
But I mean, this is crazy.
It's weird to think, though, that, as an American, we know what happens when businesses fail, right? As you said before, KJ, people are unemployed. But one of the most harsh things that happen is the tax base is now shifting.
Correct.
It's shifting from employer taxes, now The government is not going to spend less money. They just have to find another place to get it. And guess where they're going to get it from? You. They're going to get it from you. So we need businesses to be profitable, to make money, to pay the taxes. So we don't have to pay so much taxes. But when you run businesses away to other states, when they want to stay, like McCormick was going to leave Maryland. And that's horrible. Can you imagine getting your Old Bay from Tennessee?
Oh my God.
It happened with Beretta and Benelli. Beretta and Benelli had a beautiful factory in Accokeek, Maryland. It's down by where I live in Southern Maryland. And they were, saying, we're leaving. Yeah. We're absolutely out of here. They made it so very hard for them to do business. Not only the taxes, but the regulations.
Yeah. I remember you brought up a good point with McCormick was that B2B taxes actually. And he said, if you guys pass this, we're leaving too. Absolutely. Also. And even with the IT tax, the 3% IT tax that they actually put in, I think he's the vice chair of the Economic Development Committee, Brian Crosby.
Yes.
He also
from St. Mary's.
St. Mary's. He also owns a technology business or some firm or some, and he's like, guys, I'm with this tax, I'm going to be forced to move to Virginia. Wow. So even their own Democrats in their own party, they don't support the over-regulation and this high tax environment.
Listen, I'm glad he's leaving. BJ Hall, fine Black Republican man's running for that seat. West Point grad. Way to go, BJ. Let's go. Absolutely.
Yeah. And you brought up a good point because Democrats are turning on these the Democrat machine, the leadership. Here is on Morning Joe of all places talking about Gavin Newsom and the Democrat agenda is a losing agenda.
See, the Democrats are trying to find their footing, and it's quite embarrassing, actually. I mean, Gavin Newsom, have you seen what he's doing online? And say, just take a deep breath. Yeah. Don't try to turn the ship 180 degrees and they don't know what to do. I have a good idea. Instead of trying to school Donald Trump, talk into the camera about affordability. Talk about making groceries more affordable. Talk about what you're going to do for housing. Talk about what you're going to do for energy prices that continue to go up. We heard the congressman yesterday talk about energy prices skyrocketing in New Jersey. Don't try. As I've been saying, Donald Trump's not on the ballot in 26. He's not on the ballot in 28. Why try to drag Muhammad Ali in the ring when you got Chuck Wepner standing right in front of you? And Wepner's a bleeder. He's a bleeder. You want him. So why are you going, I'm going after Donald? No, you're not. You're not running against Donald Trump. Go after Tweedledee or Tweedledum. Chuck Wepner, a bleeder. Go after him.
Wow. So, I agree with him on the point that, they're not running against President Trump. He's not on the ballot. But I disagree where they don't have any solutions for these issues that are facing us. You talk about energy, the agenda is horrible. You talk about crime, their agenda is horrible. Education, their solutions are horrible. Here in Maryland, we're having an energy crisis with bad agenda and solutions from the Democrats.
I want to wipe my eyes because I don't know. That's Joe Scarborough. King TDS said that? Okay, wow. But
listen, Joe used to be a Republican. Used to be a Republican
until he married a communist.
Well,
it's just, you
can't blame Mika. He was always.
Maybe things are changing.
He's a little on the rhino-y side.
It's just, it's what a fall from grace.
Right.
Remember when the Democrats used to be the party of balanced budgets, budget surpluses, welfare reform, strong national security, strong borders. And those are the 1990 Clinton Democrats. They actually used to have a vision, ideas, hoping for a broader and greater future for the country.
Direction.
They actually loved the country.
They had
were
direction.
patriotic.
They actually love
They had direction. Now, I disagreed with them vehemently about a lot of the stuff,
Mhm.
you know, especially when they started calling people super predators.
Oh my God.
Let's do that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's true. It's true. That's a good point, and that's something where I will disagree with the Democrats then in the 90s with that 94 crime bill.
Absolutely.
And you had Joe Biden, who actually was the pioneer of that
Champion.
too. Also, and there was a mass incarceration issue with the African American male community. But now the Democrats today, I think Donald Trump has broken them. They don't have a plan. They don't have a vision. And people like Gavin Newsom thinks he's going to meme himself into the White House.
It worked for Kamala. Right?
No.
Did it work for Kamala? I don't think it worked for Kamala.
He thinks he's going to meme himself. But this is someone that spent $24 billion on taxpayer dollars in about 4 years to solve this homelessness crisis, and they can't actually pass an audit on where this money went to. So, I mean, Joe Scarborough, I'm really shocked that I've actually lost the word. I've never heard anything like that from Joe Scarborough, but he's definitely on target there.
Yeah, Nicole, what are your thoughts on that exchange?
Listen, even a broken clock is right twice a day, right? So the thing that I took away from what Joe was saying, and I'm prayerful that those Democrats did not hear him, is that they have to get some direction. Stop chasing Trump. You're not going to catch him. This is like for them an episode of Tom and Jerry.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they've got all the schemes and plans, and it's just not working, and it's not going to work. And you look foolish in the process. Luckily, Democrats don't listen. So we don't have to worry that they took this sage advice given to them by former Republican turned uber liberal Democrat. Looks like he's walking the line again, Joe Scarborough. Maybe things aren't good at home. You never know.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on it, Yana?
Well, yeah, Joe Scarborough, he turned on his thinking brain for that moment, or maybe for a while now. Maybe he's starting to think, and he definitely said it right. But I can explain why Gavin Newsom and others are just going after Trump, because they're going after everything that Trump stands for.
Mm-hmm.
So everything like America First, free market economy, safety for this country, such as closed borders. So they do not like any of this because they are in that camp with Obama and with Wes Moore and others. They're in the democratic socialists. Let's experiment on this country. Let's create a new reality for this country. And they want to break this American spirit that Donald Trump stands for.
Folks, as you come in, please hit that like button. It really helps to get this video out in front of a wider audience, and we appreciate the support. Again, hit that like button and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 200,000 subscribers by Labor Day. We're getting so close to Labor Day. We really need your help. So please share this broadcast in a DM on your social media and subscribe so we can help us hit that 200,000 subscriber goal.